cries of a nation, sounds from a liberated Bantu.
Yakubi Bana Bantu. Mtoto wa Kibantu.
All praises to Ngnigone. Umhandla Bana Bermuntu. Bawo, Ogwemazuluwini.
To my beautiful and amazing royals of Africa, Mbote, Mbote na you, my people. This is your queen, Queen Ngnigone II, 17th generation people. This is your queen, Queen Ngnigone II, 17th generation crown queen of the Fang people, also known as the Immortals.
Kembo na tata nzambi ya mazulu mpungu tulendo sonini na nini somandla ngai murungu mwenenyaga, the mighty one of the Bantu, the true kings and queens. Molweni abantwana abangone, bayede kings and queens, mbote children of his solele. I changed protocol because today is no ordinary day. With us is none other than Queen Ngnigone, 17th generation crown queen of the Fang people, the Immortals, if you prefer, my queen. To you and your people, my people, I say, Mbolani.
Bolwani, my dear royals, Bolwanis, to my beautiful and amazing royals of Africa, Mbolwani, Mbolo. It's an honor to be here today with all of you watching and with our dear host.
My queen, indeed, it is an honor as we give all the honor to Nzambe Mbe, the mighty one, not just of the Fang people, but the mighty one of the melanated ones, those that live in sub-Saharan Africa. I honor the Bujebe, the Benga, the Kombe, the Baseke, the Belenge, and the Bubi, those that you rule over.
The Pongwes.
And the Pongwes. I honor all the priests in my lineage and your lineage, those of the house of what we call Dingira in my country. I honor your righteous ancestors, and I honor all that we have been given rulership over. And I speak of us, my queen. You have been a very vocal. We have seen misguided people come against you, not recognizing the power that belongs to you. We thank you for honoring Bantu Re-Education TV and for taking the time. So we want to set the record straight, my queen, and address the melanated ones, Bana Bilaka, the chosen ones.
Yes.
Those that come from Kalunga. And if we go to the wisdom of our brothers in South Africa, those of the lineage of Mweru, or what they call Shem, the Shemites, the chosen.
The Shemites. The Shemites. This is who we are. It's heartbreaking, right? To see how far, how down, how behind they took us, you know, we are a peculiar group of people. All of the tribes you name from our area all the way to Kenya, all these Bantu lands, all of us, when we sit down with our elders, right? And especially the crown royals like us, even though they burned libraries, they did everything to erase our past. As the royals, we still have access to the knowledge through our ancestors and, narrated by our elders. So when I became crown queen, they gave me our family tree. So I was even taught how to introduce myself properly. So we always begin by stating our names, like in my name, Ngnigone, all right? And then they tell me, you have to, and then introduce your paternal clan. On my father people, I'm of the elephant. On my mother people, I'm of the gorilla. And of course, the leopard that comes by default with us, right? And then you go, Ngnigone Nembe, daughter of Ngnigone Tutum, daughter of Ntutume Tuhe, daughter of Etuendong, daughter of Ndoitue, son of Etuondong, and so on, all the way to the original ancestor who was crowned in the Upper Egypt, right? They always told us, even though their books say that the Bantu originated from the West, but all of us, our elders have told us, it's in Upper Egypt that Tata Nzambe made it for us, established us, went into covenant with us, right? So when we get to that ancestor, king number one, Minkwe, he's referred as Minkwe of the Nile of Sem of Zambe. This is who we are. So
Kembo Natata Nzambi. My queen,
Kembo Natata Nzambe.
Natata Nzambe. And the Fang people, the immortals, spell his name differently than those in the Congo. They would spell it as Ndzame and then Me, Mbe.
Yes.
Mbe means something to your people, my queen. Would you perhaps tell us what it is?
Mbe is the immortal, the people of God. On most of our name, you find Be. My father's name is a Nembe. So you see, it's recurring in most of our languages. So it ties us back to who we are. When our elders tell us that we are direct descendant of Tata Nzambe, the same Be we found in Zambe, we found in many of our names. And our elders tell us that Tata Nzambe, well, guess what? He's ancestor to our ancestors. So you see, so he brings us back home to who we come from. Bantu are the chosen people of Zambe. That's why you see a lot of...
No, my queen, proceed. My apologies.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
My queen, interesting you should mention our people, because the Mundele, because of his deceptive ways. One thing I admire about my kings and queens, the Fang people, is that they were able to outwit the Mundele in one way, that they deceived the Mundele, they deceived the liar into thinking they were cannibals. By simply doing one thing, my queen, the wooden boxes among the Fang people. We know they did this. When they came to my people, my queen, with your permission, allow me to go to my inner something. They banned our divination gods. the same way they burned the wooden boxes of our ancestors. You talked of Upper Egypt.
Yes.
And then when we read the testament of the patriarchs, because it is not rocket science that the Bujeba are the sons of Benjamin.
That's true.
When they burned the bones of our ancestors, they secreted our lineage.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about this, my queen? Because it is important for those in the diaspora and around the four corners to understand exactly how disconnected we are with our lineage. Because among your people, my people, we honor our ancestors.
Yes.
So let's explain this to Bana, bethu, my queen.
So, well, basically, that issue of our true identity, right, has gotten many in trouble for even bringing it up, because the root cause of what happened to us, in my opinion, even lays there. You know? So, and it's from a way back in history that the treachery began. So whatever unfolds after is just the aftermath. This is where everything got switched up and mixed up. You see? As far as I could say or allowed to say safely, publicly, we still, regardless, maintain that connection. You understand? We maintain that connection. We maintain, even while going through what we went through, we preserve the traditions that makes us who we are. That's what saved us. Our people are the priests of all our group, the groups of the immortal. Our priests were the most targeted. You know, they would come after our priests just like they would go after the kings. So when I went through my initiation, I understood the why, right? So, but nevertheless, we were able through, you know, initiation rites, because we are that powerful. Our people, all I can say is that our people don't need to read a book to know God, to know Tatan Zambe, to establish that connection. We are that group of people who has that mighty ability. You understand? So in going back to who we are, is going back to being introduced to the opportunity to be reintroduced to Zambe. Because unlike other houses, they say a king has many houses, right? Each wife represents a house, right? So there are houses and houses in his eye. We are the one with the VIP card. All right? We are the one with that kind of access.
And my queen, this access we are allowed because of the connection we have. Like among the Fang, your people, my people, there's the house of prayer, the dingira, the circular hut that is built outside of the homestead. A lot of what is African spirituality has been demonized. Like my queen, and I am sure you can bear witness to this.
Yes.
We were lied to that a gay man, white man that never existed was our salvation. Yet we know that when we wrong our ancestors, we have to offer up animals to them. Not to Nzambe. Nzambe doesn't require any sacrifices from the sons of God. But our ancestors, they require us to commune with them. As an initiate, I too am an initiate to the order of my people, my clan. Washira, Wamanyeki, Mojiro, na Mondomogo. What do you have to tell about Bana Bethu, about honoring the ancestors through the ancient parts? Because this is where the disconnect is. Our children, our brothers, our royals are disconnected because they are trying to come back to the land with a Christian mentality, with the Islamic mentality, with the mentality of those that are bound, my queen, in all humility. I know you're not supposed to close, but
I will keep it as PG-13 as possible. All right. So we don't say too much we need to say, because our people say, remember, the right information in the wrong ear is as deadly as a gun, right? So what I want our people to understand is that when they conquered us, they set up into motion to keep us down forever, all right? So they figure out the how, they figure out the how long, and they figure out, I mean, they map it in a way where there's gonna be a continuity, a continuation if we don't do something about it. So one aspect I want you to understand that their religion intentionally took away is the ancestral worshiping, the ancestral acknowledgement, because the ancestors are our bridge to Tatanzambe. So if you destroy the bridge or you blow it up, you can't cross, you lost that connection. So it was crucial that in all their religion, they banned, now listen to me well, banned anything that had to do with ancestral acknowledgement, ancestral worshiping. If you guys wonder why your names, your original names, it became a mission for them to strip you of your original names because your ancestors live in those names. And the ancestors are our connection to Tatanzambe. Our elders teach us that even in order for us to come in contact with them and talk to them, we do everything with the permission of Tatanzambe. Before we call them, it's always with the permission of Tatanzambe, with the permission of Isaiah Congo, because there's a hierarchy. So they are the bridge to our Creator. Not everybody has the luxury of becoming ancestors. Please understand that. Our people were Ubuntu. There were no demons, there were no thieves going around the world ransacking.
There was no hell, my queen. Remind them, we also didn't have a hell. We did not.
Sorry?
Remind them, we also didn't have a hell. Because hell is the machination of the white man. We are immortals.
Yes.
We do not die.
Exactly.
We are the gods.
Exactly. We are. When we say we are immortals, it's not a joke. So they had to poison our spirituality because you can't keep people captive unless you conquer them spiritually. So as you see, the ancestors being that bridge to Tatanzambe, that connection, direct line to him. So they had to remove them because they were a weapon. This is how powerful, acknowledging them, you know, letting them know that you know their place in the tree of Tatanzame's creation. It makes a big difference in our lives. So you have to understand that those they took from us, it became a mission. Remember, I told you our priests were captured and tortured to reveal our secrets. So by calling the name of one of our ancestors, they have called him because we are immortals.
And my queen,
So,
the saddest thing about our children, our kings and queens, they continue to call on ancestors that are not ours. An esoteric book. We have an oral history. What you know was passed down 17 generations down.
yes,
17 generations down. That is
17 generations
1700
down.
years down. 1700 years down. That's what most people don't realize. That's 1,000 years and 700 years. Just like the griots.
That's like the griot.
You know,
Yes.
and we continue because we have always been a patrilineal society, but we honor our queens. They demonize the Ankh, the womb of the woman, Mother Earth. You know, we have lost respect for our women because of the ways of the Mundele. What do you have to say about this, my queen? Because we have never disrespected our women. We have always honored our women. Even when a woman was, my king, my queen.
My dear warrior, your screen is being freezing and cutting off. I'm not getting all your sentence.
Kembo kembo na tata nzambi ya mazulu mpungu tulendo soni janini komanda. We take command of whatever is happening now. Nzambi ya mpungu ingeta magubenjalo. My queen, I hope that is better.
Okay, it's much better.
So I'm talking about us honoring our women. They have demonized the Ankh.
Yes.
And that is not even the name we called it. We call it Ihu. We call it Ihu. Ihu is the womb. Because
Ihu is the womb. Ihu is the womb.
From where all life is birthed.
I know.
Children continue to rely on an esoteric book, thinking it's going to give them the truth.
What our people need to understand, because religion is what divides us. That's what they brought it. They have to understand their religion serves a purpose, right? They have to understand why they attack our spirituality. They attack Africa like they never attacked anybody before. Why do they have our relics in their museum? Because they know the power behind our spirituality. So our people need to understand that our spirituality is what brings us together. Because regardless of the African religion, you're gonna hear, we go back to one source. It's Tatanzambe, with whom we are one. There's no difference in his eyes, right? So our people have to understand that you cannot look for yourself. You cannot try to find yourself in the books of people who held you captive. It's unwise to proceed that way. I know that a lot of us, there's a young lady who posted a comment. She said she doesn't want to claim her crown because she said we don't need it. We don't want it because we have been enslaved for far too long. And it broke my heart to see that some of our children have been broken. I mean, they sound so defeated. But as your queen, what I can tell you out there is that Tata Nzambe, our creator, he made us his first, his favorite. He gave us everything, the whole world, envy. He knows what he put in us. No matter the pain we went through, you must recover. You must recover because he made us, the melanated people, in his image. So when you speak these words of defeat, you're defeating him. When he's the great mighty one in battles, it's just like the fantasy of the rapture. They had us believe that a rapture going to take place. But when you get to know the God of our ancestors, Tata Nzambe, when you get to know him, you will know that he can never do such thing. Our God is not a coward, that he will abandon his entire creation. He created with love. He will give it up to a bunch of ministers that run around the world terrorizing the world. This is not our God. Earth was a gift to us. He could have created us in heaven, but he gave us the earth as a gift, and he gave our ancestors the Ubuntu philosophy, which teaches us to observe, to see him in everything. So my people out there, you are gods and goddesses. You are kings and queens. So please wake up. In love, we will get well. In love, only love. Some of us are out there trying to use the little differences between us, whether language, whether geographic place of birth, as being the factor which should tear us apart. But I'm telling you, my dear Royal, do the opposite. See in your brother in Kenya as yourself, and let the one in Kenya see you as himself. If somebody tells you, you've never been to Africa, say, no, you're lying. I know I've been there because I have billions of brothers and sisters there, walking there on my behalf. Someone tells you in America, in Africa, you've never been to America, say, no, you're lying. I'm very well represented over there. We have millions of brothers and sisters over there. Oops, sorry about that.
My queen, I do understand you are busy, you have royal duties to attend to. So I wish not to keep you anymore because it is an honor and I can hear that are your duties calling. So my queen, perhaps one last word. We just need 2 minutes of your time to tell us they have stolen. When we go on your channel, my kings, my queens around the world that are watching us, go Nubia, the path home. The queen does elaborate all this. We cannot have her for long because she is a queen at the end of the day. She has a kingdom.
I'm the queen.
She
And
has a
I
kingdom.
claim all of you loud and clear.
She has a
I'm
kingdom
your
to
queen.
rule. So
I claim all of you loud and clear. Just like I said in my previous video, as far as I'm concerned, nobody gave them our children. Our fathers fought. That's all I know. So when I come out, let's put the differences aside. Bantu, we should conquer. We should be the one colonizing people. The Fang people are very categorical about it. We have an uncle who went to Czechoslovakia to study medicine. Another one studied engineering in Russia, and they brought women from there. Do you know that our uncles had them speak our language. They were wearing fabrics like us. They were observant and respectful of our culture. They came and became one of us. Our identity is tied to our spirituality. Our identity is tied to our connection with Tata Nzambe. We are the one to have to teach them how to be Nzambe-like, how to be like Nzambe. So that's why I insist in building our identity, because when
My queen, we seem to have lost you. My queen. Kembo Kembo na Tata Nzambi ya Mazulu Mpungu Tulendo. So nini na nini Somandla, as we try to recover our queen. We give all praises to Tata Nzambi. You've had it here first. From Queen Ngnigone, 17th generation, crown queen of the Fang people, the people of Gabon, Cameroon, the immortals, a Bantu people comprising of many clans, spread it out over everywhere. Go to Nubia, the path home, hear what the queen has to say. We continue to ask you, Bana bethu, Ungubani, who are you? Know thyself. The royals are rising. The queens are rising. I wish we had more of her time, but she has duties to attend to. Kembo Kembo na Tata Nzambi ya Mazulu. Dayo wangai murungu mwene nyaga omaige. Dai dada yangai dai. Dai dada yangai dai. Dai dada yangai dai. Ingeta Magubenjalo. Until next time.